Rose, where are you from?
The States.
And what have you not drunk a lot of?
Bourbon, and basically any sort of whiskey from the States ever.
Yeah, so we were in Chicago recently and we decided to pick up a bunch of whiskeys from Chicago, from a local distillery in Chicago, because someone is from Chicago.
Yeah, and just to say, while I am from Chicago, he had to figure out what the local place was, because I have never known about this place, even though I was born and raised in Chicago.
Yeah, so you're a bit of a bourbon, rye, American whiskey noob, so hopefully we can try some of these and get you into being a bourbon drinker.
Let's see how it goes.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt, I'm the whiskey nerd.
I'm Rose and I'm the whiskey noob.
So let me get these whiskeys into our glasses and we'll tell you a little bit more about them. So like I said, this is a bourbon whiskey.
Oh, bourbons. I don't think I've really had a lot of bourbons,
No, you've only had a couple, and there was a couple you liked. So you liked the barrel dovetail, which is finished in kind of different casks, as a port cask, as a rum cask, and you also liked the Basil Hayden's bourbon.
That one was kind of light, wasn't it?
Yeah, it comes in at 40% ABV, so very light. This is a rye whiskey, and I don't think you are generally fond of rye.
Rye.
Yeah, because that's spicy.
Rye not.
Rye not, because it's generally a spicier whiskey and you typically don't like it. And this is a 4-grain whiskey. This is one I'm not very familiar with. It's made of oat, malted barley, rye, and wheat.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, so it should be nice, sort of complicated, maybe a bit sweet, so hopefully you'll be able to enjoy that.
Okay.
These are all from Koval. They're a single barrel distillery, so the whiskeys all have codes on the back. So this is from barrel SH4D71. So
Alright.
if you find one you like, you can then pick up more whiskeys from that barrel. They all come in at, I think, 47%. The rye is at 40% ABV and the bourbon is at 47%. So reasonably high proof. So hopefully you enjoy them.
All right, well, let's see. Let's get into them.
Yeah, let's start with the bourbon.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
So roughly, what do you think on the nose?
Gosh, well, it's beautiful looking.
Yeah, they can't add any extra color, so this is the color that it.
Oh, isn't there a thing about how bourbon tends to be more caramelly colored, just how they make it versus whiskeys?
Yeah, so bourbon is because they use the fresh oak. The new oak gives much more flavor, more color as well.
So this is a new oak.
Yeah, it has to be new oak.
Okay. Yeah. I will say, I know I'm not usually a fan of new oak.
Yeah, because you don't like the kind of bite of oak you get, but
I want sherry.
You want sherry finishes, yeah.
It's like...
It is sweet.
Yeah, there's a sweetness in here, and it does sound like it's like a powerful smell to it.
Yeah, there's a nice bit, there is a good bit of oaky kind of spice coming through on it.
But it's kind of hard a little bit because there's quite a bit of like alcohol that's just kind of like there as well, more so than I think I'm used to.
Yeah, well 47% is relatively high, but it does have that punch coming through.
Yeah, but there's sweetness to it.
You're getting a bit of a touch of cinnamon, not really a huge amount of cinnamon, like lightly spiced, almost like a cinnamon candy.
Okay.
Like think of like, not like a Red Hot, but like something like that.
Okay. American candies.
American candies.
I did love Red Hots growing up.
Yeah.
Alright, well, this...
I'm going for a sip.
Okay.
Very tannic, very oaky, very dry. I can guess you're not the biggest fan of it.
Well, I'm trying to get all that stuff. I think...
Okay, but after that, yeah, it gets sweeter. After the oak, kind of the drying of the oak, the spiciness, there is sweetness in there.
Is there?
Go in again. See? There is. Like brown sugar, kind of creme brulee, that kind of burnt brown sugar.
I'm not getting burnt brown sugar or creme brulee out of it.
What are you getting?
It's kind of like, it's just an overwhelmed, like new oak. It's like when you have a peated whiskey, or when I have a peated whiskey, all I can taste is peat. I taste new oak.
Okay.
I taste something that's like tanny, because it's like not fully mouth drying, but there's just like that little kick there that kind of reminds me of tannins a bit, I think. That's what I got from it.
Okay, well, let's move on to the rye.
Okay, we're not talking about the finish?
Well, do you get anything on the finish?
Heat.
Heat.
It'll warm you up on a winter's day.
The finish for me, the oak at least faded away. There's a bit of heat there, yeah. It's
not a bad
47%.
heat, because I smelled a lot of alcohol on the nose, but I feel like it wasn't like a burn, like an alcohol burn. Yeah. It's just that kind of heat that you get from certain, I guess, whiskeys and bourbons. That feels like it warms you up without the burn going down. So
yeah, definitely a warm, like a bit of a hug as opposed to a burn.
Yes.
Yeah.
An aggressive hug.
An aggressive hug. So the rye next.
Okie dokie.
This is 40%, so it should be lighter, at least on the nose.
Okay. Well, I generally like a 44 to 47%.
Now, rye whiskeys, you might get kind of herbal notes, eucalyptus maybe.
Okay.
Kind of maybe think of like black tea or like dry green tea, as well as kind of sweetness, the spice, cracked black pepper.
It does smell like black pepper.
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a bit of that, and it is a bit tea-y.
Yeah.
Like.
Okay.
Are you going in? Have you gone in?
I went in, yeah. I went in, yeah. What do you get on the palate?
Not a lot.
Yeah, it's quite light. It's quite mild. Yeah.
I didn't taste much.
Much less of the oak, much less that tannin, more leaning into the herbal, the tea, but less, it's just more less, if that makes sense. There's more less. There's more of the notes, I think, in the rye than in the bourbon, but they're all softer because they were coming in maybe at 40%. The bourbon definitely was like, it was oak, it was brown sugar, it was like candy, it was cinnamon, and was them very strongly.
Yeah.
This is, you know, the tea, the eucalyptus, bit of oak, bit of sweetness, but soft.
If, like maybe me, because I tend to like these lighter ones, especially when I'm new to it, it might be a good like intro to it, you know, because sometimes when you have too much of the really like punchy, strong flavors, it can turn you off pretty quickly versus you can just do like a gentle intro to something. Or if you're a tea drinker, you could go for this.
Yeah. Finish short, kind of clean.
Short and sweet.
Yeah. Okay. Now the 4 grain. This is one I'm not really familiar with.
So Irish whiskey doesn't have 4 grains.
Well, you can. So you can use a pot still whiskey where you can use different types of grains.
Yeah.
So you can use malted barley, unmalted barley, and you can use up to 5% of other grains. So you could use
like the mash bills. Like,
yeah, so you could use 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, 1% of different grains.
Okay.
Like wheat, barley, rye, oats. Yeah. So
then what makes this different?
I don't know. It has oats in it, which I don't think is very common in American whiskey.
Oh, what is that?
Yeah.
There's a sweetness in there.
Very sweet.
Does oat mean sweet?
Oh, it can be kind of creamy kind of sweetness.
Okay. Yeah. This is just like a whole new journey for me, at least. It smells lovely. Yeah,
this one is coming in at 47% as well, so it'll have a bit more heat. Yeah, I'm getting a bit of that creaminess from the oat. The wheat is almost like dusty, if that makes sense. You know, like
dusty wheat.
You know, like when you get the wheat, like flour, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
You get that little bit of breadiness, yeah, kind of.
Can I say I like this one the best so far?
Okay.
I like there's a good mix of not being too punchy and not being too light.
Yeah, there is a bit of oak in there as well.
Yeah.
On second sip, I was like, oh yeah, there's much more of the oak coming through, but it's not the way the bourbon was heavy on the oak. This has more kind of different notes to balance it out.
And it's more of like a gentle bit on the finish, like a gentle hug or a cuddle.
Tingly on the finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My tongue's a little tingly.
Yeah. That might be from the rye, like the spiciness coming through from that.
Okay. No, I like it. I think it's a good middle ground. This was kind of a punch. This was very light. And this is like, oh, hey, let's have a cuddle in winter.
Let's have a winter cuddle. I mean, it is getting darker these days.
It is. And colder.
And colder. Yeah.
And it is a little bit warming at the end. This is very warming. Not warming. A good level of warming.
Okay. So I guess I already know you would rate them, the rye is the least favorite, then the bourbon, then the 4 grain.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I'd probably do the same. The rye, it's a solid rye. It's just, I think, a bit too soft. The bourbon, it's a solid bourbon, but that 4 grain is actually pretty interesting. I might try and get more whiskeys in the 4 grain category because you seem to like them.
Apparently I do.
Yeah, she's not a big bourbon drinker.
No. And whiskeys, I'm pretty straightforward. Sweet, single grain.
Yeah. Now I do have the Koval peach brandy finished rye, and that's very nice. I use that in a few cocktails. Very flavorful, very nice and rich. It takes the kind of rye and just bumps it up another couple of notches, and it comes in at a higher proof, so very nice. But Yeah, I think we'll see if we can find more bourbons and more American
Oh, I just go back
whiskeys.
to Chicago and Koval and get a lot of this.
Yeah, because I think as
This is actually
American,
nice. This is a nice touring distillery.
It was a nice
They have a
little tour.
cocktail lounge.
they have a really good cocktail.
It's fun with bites.
Yes, a little bit of food. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think we should get you more into American whiskey since it is, you're from America.
I know, right? Maybe we should go to Kentucky.
Yeah, if you've got recommendations for softer, sweeter, kind of light whiskeys,
Yeah.
throw them down in the comments below because I think she would like to see them.
Yeah.
And until next time, we'll see you again. We put out whiskey reviews on Wednesdays, we put out cocktail recipes on Fridays, and kind of fun videos like this where we try different things on Mondays. So if you want to see more, make sure you scroll down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you again.
Bye bye.
Launch it.